Do you ever log into Final Fantasy XIV and ask yourself, what the hell am I gonna do today? I could raid, G-pose, craft, gather, RP, ERP. While I enjoy raiding, and it's the main reason that I play this game, it's important to realize that others play the game for different reasons and may not even want to step foot into a raid. And that is the significance of understanding that we're all different, and diversity in the community is a good thing. Good morning, gamers. Hello. MMORPGs have been around for a long time, going back to the early 90s, or even before that, as some would argue. And they were an avenue to be able to play a story-driven game with other people. As MMOs evolved and became more popular, different content such as raiding began to surpass other content in popularity, while also becoming more accessible to the average player. Or in some cases, that content was required or mandatory to do in order to gain access to other content, which basically led more casual players to dabble in raid content or at least give it a try. In recent times, this design philosophy has been extremely noticeable in MMOs like World of Warcraft, where raiding is the most popular and most prevalent form of in-game content. But while raiding is the most popular form of in-game in a game like WoW, it shouldn't become the main focus of the development team, especially not in a game like Final Fantasy XIV. And here's why. MMOs as a whole appeal to a large audience of players, a diverse audience of players. Some people may want to just AFK and Limsa Lamensa for hours. Some may want to use a bard add-on, learn how to play songs as a bard. Many often go to roleplay events to carry out different headcanons of their character, or visit an in-game nightclub where they can listen to music and hang out with their friends in Discord. And to paraphrase Yoshi P from his recent Endwalker Q&A with Asmongold and Rich Campbell, some players just want to explore or chat with other gamers while others are hardcore raiders. There are so many different kinds of people playing MMOs and sharing our world that we don't want to neglect people just because they're casual or heavy gamers. Our world is being supported by all these different types of players. My favorite part about this quote is that Yoshi P recognizes the variety of players playing Final Fantasy XIV, and he understands that these different types of players are what keep the game alive and help the game thrive and succeed. And having a game director like that is something that makes Final Fantasy XIV so unique and special. It offers an avenue for people of varying background and interests to come together and be excited and passionate about something. It provides a getaway for people who may not want to deal with things going on in the real world. It exposes players of varying backgrounds to each other, and it fosters a forum for people of similar interests to meet each other and get excited about those same interests. But what it doesn't do is force you into playing the game the way the developers want you to play it. It may be a case of me being used to playing WoW for 16 years where they didn't listen to player feedback and they didn't communicate with the player base and they didn't recognize the friction they were adding to the game by forcing you to do content that you didn't necessarily want to do. But having a development team like the team for Final Fantasy XIV that cares about their players' time and recognizes the importance of diversity amongst their player base is an extremely lucky atmosphere to be a part of. And it's obvious that the developers of Final Fantasy XIV understand their player base and listen to their player base and try to cater content to not only casual and hardcore players, but the players in between as well. So while 14 does indeed have difficult raids and a competitive raid scene, there are a plethora of other things to do outside of raiding that are, in most cases, more popular than raiding. And this just becomes even more obvious when you look at the number of players that have cleared the current Savage tier, with that number being just over 20% of the active max level players, which actually isn't that many people. So yes, raids in Final Fantasy XIV are still fun and they're still difficult and they're still important, but they're not for everyone, and in all honesty, they shouldn't be. MMOs are made to offer a variety of content to players with a variety of interests. And while Square has stated on multiple occasions that Final Fantasy XIV is a story game first, the game offers a variety of content to players that may not necessarily be interested in the story. And they don't force you into doing content that you may not necessarily enjoy or require you to do content that's just intended to add unnecessary friction to increase player metrics and playtime. And it seems like they really want the content you do to be content that you want to do or want to try. Raids are important, role-playing is important, crafting is important, gathering is important, going clubbing is important, because they're all aspects of the game that different people enjoy and want to do. And the opportunity and ease of access to do things that you want to do or want to try is what I feel is the most important aspect of an MMO. And those opportunities would not be possible without a diverse player base of varying backgrounds, and more importantly, a development team that cares not only about the casual and hardcore players, but everyone else in between as well. We need casual players, we need mid-core players, we need hardcore players, and we all need each other for this game to grow and continue to be successful. Yes, there are plenty of things that Square can and should work on, but I'm optimistic for the future, and I can't wait to see what other types of players with varying backgrounds they're able to attract to Final Fantasy XIV. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope you enjoyed it. It was really refreshing to hear Yoshi P talk to Asmongold and Rich Campbell about Square's design philosophy for Final Fantasy XIV. And I think trying to build a game for everyone and not just a specific type of player is a very daunting task. But it seems like they have the right heads on their shoulders, and I can't wait to see what they're able to come up with. Obviously, as a raider myself, I hope that they keep pushing more hardcore content out for us. And Yoshi P does indeed claim himself to be a hardcore raider, but we'll just have to wait and see what the future holds for us, and look forward to Endwalker. I'll see you next time. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day. Goodbye.